Good evening and a happy Thursday to you. Welcome to the show. This is the name is Medrin Yambura. We are live on Family TV, also live on Family Radio. We began on Radio 4 to 6 with a question of what people are allergic to. You'd be surprised. One is allergic to penicillin, the other one is allergic to eggs, and the other one cannot even stand the smell of cheese. Our guest is here, Lillian Dutan, nutritionist. Hi. Hi, how are you? I'm very fine, thank you. You've promised me that your hair is achievable through diet. I'll see you after this. Let's talk about food allergies and food intolerance. And I was telling you some questions have already come in, but maybe we need to define that because the two are usually confused. So define it for us. Food allergy, food intolerance.
Okay, a food allergy normally happens when your immune system responds to an attack.
Okay.
All right? Mm-hmm. And a food allergy is different from a food intolerant. Because for a food intolerant, this one happens at any given time of the age group. Like it can be an infant or even during adulthood. Okay. But for an allergy, this happens it starts at infancy. And yes.
Literally?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It can start at infancy and it can be lifelong, or some of them can be outgrown as the baby grows up.
Okay.
Yes.
I hear you. Mm-hmm. So there's one thing that's again confused a lot. We have milk allergies,
yes,
and being lactose intolerant.
Yes.
I'm not quite sure why I lie, because I can't take milk to save my life.
Mm-hmm.
But then I tried ice cream and I didn't pass out, but I felt funny. So maybe just define the two for us, lactose intolerance and milk allergy.
Okay. For an allergy, the thing that you need to understand is the body responds to a protein. Okay?
Okay.
In this case, the protein is assumed like it's something foreign. So all of a sudden, your immune system starts producing something we call immunoglobulin E.
Okay.
Okay? In other times, we call it IgE. All right? So at the doctor's place, what they do an assessment and then they check your immune response in terms of how much of the hemoglobin E is in your blood. So they can now be able to say this is an allergy. And the other thing that you need to note is an allergy is only caused by one type of food. It's not a multiple reaction to different types of food. But an intolerance can be multiple types of food.
Okay.
Is that okay?
That makes sense.
Yes, yes.
So if I have a milk allergy, but then you eat, say, pizza or a burger with a slice of cheese, do you get a reaction?
It may not be. It may not only be the protein in milk.
Oh, and not the protein
and
in
not
cheese.
the protein in cheese. Exactly.
Oh,
exactly.
Okay.
So it's not like all dairy can cause allergies, but it's one of the major allergens. Do you understand?
Yes.
There's milk, we have eggs, we have soy, we have peanuts, we have tree nuts. Okay, they're the major sources of allergens. But now, if it now comes to intolerances, here now we can have somebody having an intolerance of wheat or gluten.
Okay, what are gluten? They're so hard to cook for.
Yes.
Because you don't know what to cook for them.
Yes, now for them is an intolerance.
Okay. It's a variety of food.
It's a variety of food. So for them, even getting to know the type of food that is causing the reaction can be a bit cumbersome as opposed to somebody who has an allergy, because an allergy is only caused by one food.
One type of food.
Exactly.
Is it a specific one or it's person specific?
With time and with proper assessment, somebody gets to know the issue here. So in this case, they'll try different types of food and see how they react to the different types of food.
Okay.
Yes.
So it could be allergic to
yes.
protein.
And since allergies start from infancy, the doctors are able to, or even the parent and also the doctor, they can be able to pinpoint the problem early enough. So this person is prepared, and also the caregivers are educated on how to go about this.
Okay.
Yes.
Another thing, let me just stick on the definition so that it's very clear.
Yes, please.
Could you have a milk allergy to the milk from cows, so the cow milk, what is sold out here?
Yes.
Yet you breastfed as a child,
Yes,
and somehow
you can.
didn't pass out.
Yes, you can.
What's the difference?
Because in milk protein, we have the cow protein, and we also have the breast milk protein. For the breast milk protein, it is formulated in such a way the human body is able to digest it.
Okay.
Very well. So, and that's why you see many babies are able to tolerate the breast milk. Is that okay? But when you introduce now the cow milk, there can be now some intolerances. So they're able to diarrhea, some of them even vomit, just because they have taken. So there's some digestive issues that can come about because of this. And then the protein in milk, remember, this is milk purposed for a calf. Is that okay? So that is too much protein for the small human infant. Yes.
Okay.
So, and that's why if there is no any other source of food for the infant, we normally recommend either it is over diluted to an extent that it is broken down into simpler form that the baby can be able to digest.
Okay.
But if there is other better sources, in this case which we have, like if breast milk is not an option or it's not there at all, and also if you look around, maybe we normally have milk banks, and if they cannot be able to find it, then we can substitute for the tinned milk.
Okay.
Exactly.
The one where you have the powder?
Yes.
Okay.
The powdered milk, yes.
Okay. You know, when you say that it's meant for cows, there's a lady we interviewed on radio, and after we were done with the phone call, she told me, Madrin, you know the problem with human beings, we are taking milk for cows, and it's not supposed to be for us. So ideally, should we take cow milk?
You can. Later on, after you have grown, because now your body has also developed, and then your digestive system has developed to an extent now it can be able to digest the cow milk without giving you any issues. But now for some people, that is still not possible despite them having grown.
Okay.
Yes.
Then how do you explain somebody taking milk all through their teenage life, all through their early 20s, and then they hit 24, 25, and your body is thinking, I cannot take any drop of milk anymore? Why is there a shift?
Okay, is it a choice?
No. Your body actually refuses. Because that happened to me. Yes.
Okay.
I got to a point where my body said, I will not entertain
that is
any milk.
now an intolerance. That is not an allergy.
Okay.
As I said earlier, an allergic, an intolerance can occur later on in life, even during adult life.
Okay.
And by then, some become even lifelong.
You're breaking people's hearts.
I know.
Because they can't eat all these things anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
They can become lifelong, or some can be just for a short while. Maybe the digestive system has some issues that now it cannot be able to tolerate dairy products.
Okay.
So some of these reactions can be short term, but others can be long term.
I hear you.
Yes.
So for you, unless I walk into your office and ask all these questions, is when these things are clear.
Yes.
So before I get the hives and everything, how will I know what I'm allergic to or intolerant of? Is there a way of knowing it, or you actually need your blood tested?
Okay, and this is why we always say there are certain things that you can look at. One of them is if you have been eating something and it has been okay with you, but all of a sudden you have digestive issues, please seek consultation.
Okay.
Then all of a sudden maybe you have some respiratory issues due to maybe consumption of a particular type of food, please seek consultation as well. Then sometimes it may also come via skin reaction, like the hives as you said earlier, and others can also be cardiovascular problems.
Okay.
So if it reaches a point whereby it is actually a severe reaction, please seek consultation immediately.
Okay.
Because for some people, they react to something they did not know, especially in this area where now people are traveling a lot.
Yes.
So they are changing diets all of a sudden. So there may be an ingredient in a particular food that you may not know that you are actually intolerant to or allergic to, just because the exposure was not there during your infancy years.
That makes sense.
Is that okay now?
That makes a lot of sense. There's a guest who's, a viewer. What? A viewer who said, good evening, kindly ask the nutritionist about gluten sensitivity. I think I'm sensitive to anything that has gluten. Maybe we can tell her, how does she know that her body cannot stand gluten?
Okay. One of the major problems is with gluten intolerance is there's a lot of bloating anytime you take anything that has gluten.
That includes chapati.
Yes.
Okay, carry on.
Okay. I
Okay.
know
Yeah.
I'm creating a lot of problems.
Yes.
But it's okay. It's better to know so that you also know what to do.
Yeah.
The goodness is nowadays we have lots of food which are gluten-free and they're easily available in the market. The only problem is people are not exposed yet.
Okay.
Because we are used to the Kenyan diet of ugali, chapati, what is mandazis and everything. So that's what we were introduced to. So
Yes.
that's what we are used to. So that's what we know that is food.
Okay.
But guess what? There's a lot of food that is out there, but it is gluten-free and is easily available and affordable.
Okay.
Yes.
Is atta the flour? Is
Yes.
it gluten free?
Okay, atta comes from wheat.
Oh, so there's no going
Is that
around
okay?
the-
So
yeah.
gluten is a protein found in wheat.
Okay.
All right?
Yes. I'm
Yes.
thinking about
So
my
there are some
chapati
people who are just reactive to the whole wheat products, everything,
Okay.
regardless of even if the gluten has been removed or not. And then there are now some people who are now allergic to the gluten
Itself. Yes.
itself.
Okay.
Yes.
I
Now
hear
that
you.
now becomes a food intolerance.
Okay.
Exactly.
Hey, can I borrow your mind for a second?
Yes, please.
So can you go through the signs as well? Because we've talked about the hives, which is
Mm-hmm.
basically your skin breaking out and everything. We also see people who eat, and this is again from people around me,
Yes.
where you eat fries, say on a Monday,
Yes.
and then you eat red meat on a Tuesday,
Yes.
and then you break out maybe on Thursday. So you're not quite sure, is it the fatty food or is it the meat? Does fatty food cause a breakout as well?
Yes, it does.
Anything to do with allergies or intolerance?
That one now is more of the content of the meat. Because in this case, there are some people, like when you come now to more of skincare, there are certain foods that will cause a reaction to
Okay.
you, depending on how sensitive your skin is or how sensitive your immunity is.
Okay.
Okay, so you may eat a certain food for a while and it may not cause any problem. But then all of a sudden, when you now overdo it, your body reacts by telling you, stop eating this kind of food, it is too much.
Okay.
As I said, for every nutrient, there's a limit. We call it an upper nutrient limit. So the minute you consume a particular food beyond that upper limit, the body reacts.
I hear you.
And this is its way of communicating and saying, stop eating this thing.
Okay.
Yes. So it may not be more of, it may be actually like a food intolerance for a very short time. It's not like you're allergic to it or you cannot stand it.
Okay.
No. It's only just your body telling you,
For now.
for now,
Yeah.
let's stop eating this until the levels go back to normal.
Okay.
Yeah,
I really
it's
hope
as
that's
simple
my
as
case.
that.
I miss eating the nice things that had
Okay.
cheese and
So
everything.
if you find that your skin is breaking,
Yes.
that tells you, by the way, if you're not careful, you can be literally intolerant to this food.
Okay.
So what that tells you is just to give it a break for a while, and this is why now our service is coming, because now we are able to space for you food so that we make sure you don't overdo a particular kind of food at the expense of the others.
Okay.
Yes.
So there are people who will not do sausages. They'll
Yes.
not do the smokies. They'll not do the choma sausages. They'll do eggs
Yes.
only. Because again, I think it's the closest thing to being natural.
Yes.
Then they can't eat sausages, they'll react, but then they eat eggs. And what confuses me, is it that there's a difference in protein, or are they all protein? Why is it that there are people who can eat eggs but they can't eat sausages, but it's all protein?
Okay, there are different types of protein. It all depends on the branching of that protein.
Okay.
Is that okay now? So depending on where the sausage is coming from, they may not be able to tolerate it.
Okay.
The digestive system may not be able to tolerate it, so they react.
Hey.
Either by vomiting, or
Yes.
diarrheaing, or having stomach cramps, serious ones, abdominal pains, and so far and so forth.
Okay.
Yes.
You've mentioned quite a few signs to know that you're allergic to something. Where does the dizziness come from, where you could actually pass out? Is it what
That
does
is
that mean
now-
for your body?
That is now an allergic reaction. and we call it anaphylaxis.
Okay.
That is whereby the reaction is so severe you can literally pass out.
Okay.
Okay, and we always encourage people to get to know what is your main cause of allergy, so that in case you go anywhere, you even inhale it or touch it or use a container that had that allergen, some people react that fast.
To smell?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Like the ones who are allergic to hot pepper. The minute they smell it, okay, because it has a pungent smell that is also volatile. So
Yeah.
the minute it's cooked, that kind of nini just evaporates in the air.
Yes.
So because of that, some of them react just by smelling it. Just from the aroma of the food, they can now start reacting, or even like have this issue, achoo.
Yeah, it's true. That has happened quite a lot.
Yes.
I'm so glad you're here, because you're
Yes.
clarifying so many things.
Yes.
People saying that they're learning quite a lot. Well, that's the whole point. So I'm talking to Lillian, and she's saying you can make ice cream from fruits. What? We'll explain that in a while. Let's
Yes.
first answer people's questions.
All right.
Why does someone have a headache once they take beans if you have ulcers? Someone from Kiburu.
Okay, as I said, one of the side effects of intolerances is bloating, abdominal pain, headache is one of them too.
Okay.
So you can just be intolerant to beans. It's as simple as that.
And does it matter if you have ulcers? Because it's very specific. If you take beans and if you have ulcers.
Okay, remember in beans, there's a particular protein that is not easily digestible.
Okay.
In our human stomach, and that's why we always encourage people soak the beans first
in water.
Yes.
Okay.
Let them even stay overnight or even a day and a half, then you boil them.
What does that do?
What that does, it breaks the chain of protein, so it becomes smaller chains.
Okay.
So smaller chain protein amino acids are easily digested by the body.
Does that apply for black beans as well?
The same, all the legumes, all right? Okay. Because there's some people, because here in Kenya, for sure, people cannot afford meat all the time. So beans is a major food item in most of the households. Okay. So to make it now more palatable is you soak it, then you boil it, then you can now make the dishes that you like. And you realize you can literally eat any form of bean.
Okay.
Yeah. So that bean actually, because of now becoming indigestible, it ferments in the stomach. So the minute it ferments, you start having issues of bloatiness.
And then if you have ulcers,
and now if you now have ulcers, it's worse, because once it ferments, also acid is produced. So they make your stomach worse, because there's also HCl from the stomach lining as well.
Okay.
Yes.
Samuel, to soak beans, tafadhali, I need you here. Now let's talk about anaphylaxis. Because I feel this one gets to the extreme. Just explain what that is.
Okay. Anaphylaxis is an severe allergic reaction. So this one takes as little as 3 minutes, and it can be fatal. So some people have died because of such reactions. So if you know your reactions are so severe, we even advise carry like a card, or anytime you go to a restaurant, have it and say, please don't give me food that has this and this and this.
Okay.
Or even if you are socializing with friends, let them know. And let them also know what to do in case such a scenario happens. So for such people, they even have to carry the anti-allergen with them all the time.
Okay.
All the time.
Also, if you're traveling.
Yes, please.
Yeah, you might need to pack that as well.
Yes.
Then I got this question on radio. Somebody is asking, how is it that when I cook at home with the cooking oil I bought, I'm okay? I go eat at a restaurant and she's told whether it's food poisoning or allergy or intolerance.
Okay.
What's the challenge for her?
So for most people, actually, it's not even the food. It's more of, as I told you earlier, our bodies are so sensitive, and most of the immunity as well as the nerves are located in the stomach. Okay? And that's why we say the stomach has its own brain.
Okay?
So the minute there is something off, it reacts. Okay, so you realize anytime you eat, like for me, I used to have the same problem. Anytime I could eat at school, the first day, it was hell. The minute I go home, I'm okay, I'm fine, nothing is a problem. But the first week was just a mess. So even for people, anytime there is mass production of food, okay, this is unfortunate, but there are a lot of shortcuts which are done.
That's true.
Because at the end of the day, the owner of the business wants to make a profit. So there are certain processes that are not done at home that are done in the hotel industry. So sometimes you may realize some of the oil can be rancid. And since it can be thrown away, it is used to make the food. So when you now eat the food, you are not now reacting even to the food. You are now reacting to the ingredient that is already bad.
Okay.
Yes. So that's why sometimes you have also now to be careful where you eat. Yes. In this case, it's not simaringo. It's just being a bit cautious.
It's even staying alive.
Yes.
Okay.
Because now we have seen people reacting very badly. And in this case, when it's taken to the hospital, it is treated like a food poisoning. In the real sense, it is an intolerant because of a particular ingredient that was there in the food and not necessarily the whole food they eat.
Okay.
Yes.
I hear you. Let's talk about the peanut allergy.
Yes.
This one is, I've seen people go through anaphylaxis because of the peanuts.
Yes.
So it means even peanut butter is a problem.
Yes.
Please talk to the people who are allergic to peanuts.
So for those who are allergic to peanuts, anything or any product made of peanut or has a nut at the end can become a problem for them. Speak of cashew nuts, speak of peanuts, speak of macadamia nuts. Almonds, so long as there's a nut at the end, that means the protein found in peanut, you'll also find it in the other nuts. So for them, that's a no-no.
Okay.
Then, so any product made by any of these ingredients can react to them in a bad way. Leave alone that even anywhere these products are made, the dust can react to them.
Okay.
Or even maybe you took bread that you spread peanut, then you drank your tea, and then another person comes and takes the same cup and takes it, they react.
Wow. So
Yes.
that's when you have to be extremely
So for
careful.
them, they have to be extremely careful, and anywhere they go in any gathering, they are very careful. They don't share any utensils. They are very particular to even ask the host what is available on the menu and does it contain this and this and this. Yes.
So that's why you need the card.
Yes, that's why you need a card for that.
Okay.
And if you are also a proper host, it's courteous. Ask people, is there anybody from now the group that you have invited, is there anybody who's allergic to something? Because it is so bad for somebody to have a reaction in your house, and then maybe it's a happy occasion or something like that.
Okay, and then you're running to the emergency room.
Yes.
Something else that surprised me was I eat fish, I'm okay. I eat chicken, I'm fine. I eat red meat, mbuzi, it doesn't work.
Red meat,
Yeah,
and
red
mbuzi,
meat and white meat, yeah.
There's also a difference. Yeah.
In the protein that's found in both. So your body could be allergic to red meat, but
Yes,
you're good with
you are
white
good
meat.
with fish and chicken. The branching of the amino acids in the red meat and the chicken and fish is different.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think everybody should just come see you with all their problems. Another one that we were laughing about this off air, the spices. So the people who can't stomach pilau or a pastry that has a bit of cinnamon in it, they can't stand that. Is it possible to be either allergic or intolerant to spices?
Those ones is more of intolerant.
Okay.
Intolerant, not necessarily allergic, but there are some who are literally allergic to. There's something we call pollen. Okay.
Yes.
So in pollen, normally it is a grain that is normally found in raw foods.
Okay.
Okay, and most of the spices we take them raw.
Yes.
Either raw fruits or raw vegetables or raw, anything raw that you take. So the body reacts to that. But by cooking the spices properly or cooking that particular food properly, you realize now people are able to tolerate that kind of food.
Okay.
Is that
Let
okay?
me just, yes,
Yeah.
let me follow up. If you have your garlic, your tangawizi, your rosemary, the natural one, compared to what's processed and packaged, is it possible to be intolerant to one and okay with the other?
Not necessarily.
It's one and the same thing?
It's one and the same thing.
Thank you. You have saved lives. It's very hard to find natural spices. There's a
But
question.
they are there.
Yes.
They are there.
Okay.
What I always recommend is as much as it's easy to get the grounded ones
Yes.
and the packaged ones, which is okay. There's no problem with them. But also try to find the natural foods as much as possible.
Okay.
Because they have not been tampered with during processing and all that. Okay? Yeah. And at least there you can now be able to tell if there's anything that was added. Because now I've seen now they are coming with another option whereby now they are mixing.
Yes, there's mixed spices.
There's mixing different
or the
spices
mix
so that
too.
for a particular kind of dish.
Yes.
Okay? Maybe it's a barbecue or maybe it's pizza, so they have their own spice mix. So in that case, it can be a bit dangerous because you don't know what you are not able to tolerate.
Okay.
Yes.
So buy the...
So buy the single ones, or just get them as natural as they come, if you can be able to access them.
Okay.
And then also now for the people also who they think they are not, they cannot be able to handle, just even if you use it in small doses, let me call it doses.
Yes.
It's prepared properly. Because now the other thing I realize, people don't know how to cook spices.
Abu, tell
And
us how
that's
to cook
why
spices.
many
Yes.
people don't like it, because they can feel the pungent itself in the food that is cooked. Yet it's supposed to mix with the rest of the ingredients.
So when do you put spices?
Normally towards the beginning when the oil is heated up. So that
Okay.
when you put, because most of the spices are volatile, so that
The
pungent thing gets
Yeah.
to evaporate, and now you remain with a nice smell
Okay.
and everything, and that's now the thing that gives the food flavor.
There's a thing I saw, and this was a lady who I happened to share space with, and she'd cook she'd put spices in the oil and then put the onions and then now cook the vegetables. So any spice should be put in the oil. That's what we're saying.
In the oil.
And not at the very end.
No,
Quick
because
swoosh
by
of
then
water.
it
Yeah.
does not cook properly, and
Okay.
that's where now the problem is with most of the people, because they can feel it raw, and when they take it raw, it reacts with them. Is that okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
This just
But
turned
when
into a
it's done
cooking show.
properly,
Yeah.
you realize anybody can take it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that, because some of us love spices. There's a question. I'm Betty
Yes.
from Kisumu, and you're saying your question is not about allergy. Not to worry.
Okay.
But she's asking, I like mixing my kienyeji with milk, but I've heard that the milk takes away the nutrients from vegetables. How true is this?
Okay. One, you need to realize what is in vegetables and what is in milk. The main ingredient in vegetables is, we look at the iron content in the vegetable.
Okay.
We call it the non-heme iron. Then in milk, we have calcium. So when you do the two together, one interferes with the other. These are minerals, so they are those chemistry processes that used to happen. So one interferes with the absorption of the other,
Okay.
because of the way even they are arranged in the periodic table. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So don't do it?
Don't do it. We call it nutrient interaction.
Okay.
So, and that's why you see there are certain foods which are paired with a different kind of food and not others. There's a reason why.
Have you had kienyeji with milk and ugali?
I know it is perfect.
It's nice.
Wow.
It's really good.
I always feel bad when I'm telling people this, because
Yeah.
it's among the best delicacies we have
Okay.
locally, yes.
Somebody has asked me, spices ni nini? He? Okay. Spices ni garlic, cinnamon. What are the other spices? Rosemary,
Turmeric,
turmeric.
oregano.
Ndo hizo zote.
Yes.
All those are spices.
Yes.
So there's one more allergy I want us to look at, because then it's a surprising one.
Yes.
And it's oral allergy syndrome.
Yes.
What's that?
Okay, an oral allergy syndrome normally happens due to, the first thing, they are normally short term.
Okay.
Okay, so it may be just because you have eaten something and your system just decides to react.
That's it.
That's it. But in other times it was okay.
Okay.
So maybe in that kind of food that you ate, there was something bad. So your mouth starts reacting. Either you feel as though it's like there's a frog in your mouth, or there's a lip that is now becoming bigger. Yeah.
Okay.
But
majorly it's not extreme?
No.
Okay.
In most cases, it's not.
Okay.
But when it's now an allergy in itself, it can be extreme. Yeah.
Okay.
Because now we have seen even people whereby the tongue swells until it blocks the airways. So that now becomes an anaphylaxis now.
Yeah, the one you said now,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
when you need help.
But now the other ones are mostly due to just food intolerances at one point or another.
Okay.
Yes.
Another question here. Hi, Radio 316. AC Kemenyi here. Hi. And you're saying allergies. Those legumes, am I soaking them in cold water or warm water?
You can just soak them in cold water.
Cold water.
Yes. After now you have selected them or sorted them out.
Yes.
Yes.
I find that they even cook faster.
Yes,
if you
they do.
soak
They
them,
do,
and it saves
because
time.
at that time you have broken most of the carbohydrates, so it becomes softer. So that means it's easier to cook.
Okay.
Yes,
and
and
also for the
faster to
time,
cook
we
too.
said how long do you soak them for?
You can soak them even a whole day or overnight.
Okay.
Yes.
And then now
and
you
then
cook
you
them the
boil
next
the
day.
following day.
Okay.
Because overnight that's around 12 hours. Yes, that's okay.
Okay, awesome. Is there any problem by putting salt in food after cooking? Maybe you want to add some taste in food. Ooh, we know these people. You know those people who you serve them and then they're like...
They're like this. Yes.
Yes. So
Yes.
do you put salt after the food you've maybe already served or it's already cooked?
During the cooking process. It
And not
has to
after?
cook. Yes.
Okay.
It has to cook.
Okay. There are people who work with salt shakers.
Yes, they
Wanajijua,
do.
wanajijua.
They do.
We have a couple of minutes, and let me just get to the treatment part. Can you treat allergies specifically? Can you treat allergies? How do you do that?
Yes, you can. Okay, allergies, the first thing we do is you consult a doctor. Okay? Then the doctor, depending on the symptoms you'll give, depending on also on how severe they are, they'll give you first of all the first management.
Okay.
Okay? That is to reduce the histamine levels and that is now by giving you the epinephrine shot. Okay? Then after that, you now refer to an allergist.
Okay.
An allergist now is somebody who does tests on different types of food, because now in this case we are not even sure what is causing the allergy, especially now for infants. Now this becomes very serious. So the thing that happens is they do different food tests. They can give you the allergy, but in small doses.
Okay.
And see how your body reacts, whether it's a skin rash or a digestive issue, something like that. The other thing they also do something we call an elimination diet. An elimination diet is whereby they take all the sources of allergens, and then for a 30-day period, they monitor, like if they remove all the allergens, how does your body react? And then they start reintroducing the allergen one by one.
Okay.
Until now they can pinpoint and say, this is what is causing the reaction. Yes.
I hear you.
And then now, after that, because now sometimes, in case now of a food intolerance, because now it's caused by multiple foods, some may eliminate a lot of foods until to an extent now somebody now wonders, what am I now going to eat?
Yes. Like when you say you're lactose intolerant, what are you supposed to eat?
Exactly. So now that is now where a dietitian comes in and gives you other alternatives to what now you have been told not to take.
Not to take.
Exactly.
Okay. Popping a tablet
Yes.
before eating what you're intolerant to, advisable or not?
Popping out. Okay, it all depends.
The tablets that they give you, maybe if you're becoming sick, then they give you that and it holds you for a while.
Okay, so it all depends on the content of the tablet.
Okay.
And that's why you normally hear the pharmacist telling you, eat this before meals or after.
Like the coramide?
Meals.
I'm trying to ask for the people, the dairy people. Can you take a coramide tablet and then you eat whatever you need to eat?
Oh, okay. If it makes your system tolerate whatever you're about to eat, is okay.
It's okay.
Yes.
Okay.
If it does not have any effect, then you can take it at any given time.
Okay.
But if it interferes with what you're eating, then you can take it either after you've eaten whatever you've done.
So you have about 60 seconds. So I'll ask this. Can you fast your way out of intolerance?
Fasting?
Maybe you stop eating for a period of time.
That is also one of the remedies
you can
we
do
give.
that?
You can avoid the foods that give you allergies or those intolerances as much as possible.
Okay.
If you can know the main cause of the allergy or the intolerance, then you can do that.
Okay.
But if you're not so sure, then please see an allergist so that they can help you to come up with the main cause, so that, again, you don't hold yourself back from the many options that you can have.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Lillian. I always appreciate every time you're here. Very clear. But tumesema tukule spices. You still haven't told me how you're making ice cream with fruits. You'll answer that question and then I can always share it. So thank you to you for watching, to everybody who sent questions. I hope you've learned something. Hakuna kuweka chumvi after chakula imeiva. Soak your legumes and basically just take care of yourself. We have one body. Thanks for watching.